So today I decided to get Roxie up on the grooming table and fast forward her rough cut for you. So we went on speed to do the rough cut, and there's how she kind of looked before she started. She was a little curlier than that because she had just been brushed in these pictures, but that was just a couple days ago. There she is. So that's how she looked when I started. And I didn't bathe her. I rough cut her first, put her up on the table, just kind of cut off the longest of the long hair. That's what I do sometimes, and get a little bit of her face and just kind of get a rough idea. And then that saves us from having to wash all that thick hair and saves her from having to go through all that thick hair drying. So she was up on the grooming table. There's her dog upstand that keeps her from sitting down. You can get that at myfavoritegroomer.com. If you want. That keeps your dog from sitting down. Well, anyway, there she's going to rest. I think she had her rough cut there. And there's fast forward of the dog's aggravating her. I tell you what, I've had so much trouble with this video today. The phone kept falling down. Didn't have my GoPro charged. But anyway, she's a little upset with me over there. That's what I did when I pulled around and took her to a groomer. Had my husband to when I broke my leg because they made her scared of being groomed. Here's her bath. There's a whole lot of, you can't see her face because again, whatever happened to her at that groomer that time, she does not like anybody touching her face. I mean, used to, she'd turn her face to you. She hates it. So I just stood my phone up there and did the best I could to show her getting a bath. Now I use an almond scented dog shampoo that's tearless, so I can just scrub the fire out of her face, because a doodle's face does get pretty grungy with that long hair and them eating and drinking and sniffing and all the things that they do, licking themselves and all that. You know, you want to be able to really scrub that face. So I scrub it 2 or 3 times over, and also I make soapy bath water for her to stand in. I usually make it out of Dawn dish liquid because that way I feel like it soaks her toenails really well and the pads of her feet, because you need those feet clean and you need that hair in the pads clean so that you can trim the pads out and not let their feet pads get matted. So I had the shower curtain on the wrong end. I'm about ready to scrub down her face again, I think. No, that's her body. I cut out a whole bunch of this bathing because she just would not get down there where you could see her face. I kept trying to turn the phone around to where you could see, but she wasn't having it. So there's her behind. And there I am struggling to get her to just at least let me show her face. I'm just shampooing around on her and trying to get her clean. Forgive me for the boringness of this video, but I've never shown a video before where I've cut her hair. And I tell you, when I first started cutting her hair, she had some pretty rough looking haircuts. She looked like she had the mange. She looked like she'd been living underneath of a car in the wintertime. I mean, she looked bad. But, you know, I would give anything if I hadn't had to send her to that groomer. There's an X-rated shot, trying to wash her feet and legs and everything. Trying to keep her dignity about her the best I could. So I'm scrubbing all of her legs individually, soaping them down. I've soaped her down 3 times at least. You just haven't seen. And I'm working on getting her rinsed off really well. She does not mind having her face rinsed, though. She'll turn her head up like that and close her eyes and let me rinse her real good. And but used to, I didn't even have to hold it underneath of her chin. She just let me do it. And I'm hoping that she comes out of that, but I think she got slapped in the face and she's lost her trust. That's what I think happened. Maybe worse. Maybe bopped with scissors. I don't know. God help them if they did. But anyway, but we don't go there anymore. We hadn't been there since. And there was a reason why we got in there that easy, I think, because nobody else had an appointment ready for a month. But now we take the doodle puppies to the groomer in Carbondale, and we always make a new appointment when we leave, so they'll have an appointment. And we keep them brushed so the groomers don't want to turn them away. But there she is, getting her hair dried a little bit, and I want to tell her she can get out. Told her she could shake if she wanted to, and she did. I think I muted the voice on this because of all the dog barking. Bougie and Paris was barking the whole time because they thought I was hurting her because they don't like to get groomed either or bathed. I said, do you want to get out, Roxie? She said, yes. Now here she super hates this. She's getting the blow dryer with the doggy high velocity dryer. She doesn't like that. It mostly blows the water off of her hair, but I also add heat to it just so she's not getting cold air blowed on her because I know she's cold. And she's laying around, turning her back to me, which means I am ignoring you because you are on my nerves. And if you blow dry them and you want to see that skin when you're blow drying, because you can tell if they've got any kind of itchy places, sores, ticks, anything they might have. If you blow that hair back to the skin, then you can tell. See there, I've got a leash on her. I never even had to do that before. I never had to leash her to do anything to her. She'd just come and sit in front of me. But anyway, that's a side note. So you just want to blow dry that till you can see that skin and really inspect the skin. So I brought her back outside. This is her second trim. Put her up on the grooming table. And we're working on her body. And what I did, I rough cut the first part, and it's all lumpy and scraggly, but that gets a whole lot of that thick undercoat out. And she wasn't all that long, but I'm telling you, summer's coming up. And this dog is miserable in the summer if her hair gets very long. So I try to make it to where she's about at the right length by July. I used 7FC on her body on this one. And I scissored her legs. And I think I used a 10 on her landing strip, which is under her tail. I call it her landing strip. That's a sanitary, for if you want to know the professional term. That was a sanitary. And so I kept swapping out. And do you know, those Andis clipper blades cost about $40 a piece or more. And Bougie, that klepto, went over there and took my Andis brush and 2 of my blades, and I found them out at the bottom of the steps when I was done. She got them and was going to chew them up. And I hope they're not damaged. My husband's going to kill me if they are. But I didn't see her get them. She's so slick. But I love her. She should have been named Klepto because that's what she does. She makes a game out of sneaking your stuff. And she's good at it too. So also I make handmade soap, just a side order, while I'm watching myself clip all the lumpy hair off of her. I just got an order for $500 worth of handmade soap. That is awesome. And I don't have to have it ready till August. It's a repeat order. That lady runs a golf club or something in Arkansas, and she had ordered those from me before for gifts for the people and for some meeting they were going to have or something for the people. And she ordered those again. So I've got to get some soap scents together and call her back Friday, and we have to decide on what we're going to do, what she would like to have, and that's how we're going to do it. Going to make some soap this summer. I'm glad I'll be out of school because, boy, that's a job. That's a lot of soap. There'll be 3 bars for each person, and there's 100 people. So it's going to be pretty busy. But these are sample size bars, and I'm not raising the price on her to what it is now because I've already got most of my stuff that I need, my wrapping and labeling and all that. So I think we'll be okay to try to keep it close to what it was. I know stuff has went up, but they are a repeat customer, so I'm going to do my best to get that done for them and make a little money. Anyway, here I am working on Roxie on the back of her neck. The biggest challenge on trimming these really curly doodles to me is their head and face. Now, I've decided this time, for the first time, to cut her head like a poodle because that is my biggest challenge. When it grows out, it's easy to shape it back into a doodle, but she looks good as a poodle too. Her curl is so tight when I cut her like a doodle, and I don't cut up some of that off her face. She just seems to get real hot. But now in the wintertime, I like to keep her like a doodle as much as possible. So I'm kind of just sculpting out a top knot and leaving her ears longer. And I see now that I have Man, I don't know what. Oh, I was brushing her legs. That's why the table was shaking. Anyway, I'm working on around her ears and trying to cut some little trenches that you can't see so she can get some air in them ears, because doodles get ear infections easy because of all the heat that gets trapped in there. I didn't pluck her ears out because I kind of do ear maintenance on all of them, throughout the week while I'm brushing them and stuff. And I didn't do her nails yet, but I'm sure I'll sit down here tonight or tomorrow and trim my lobes off right quick. I won't be showing that this time. I'm going to have my husband a video for me sometime when he's home so you can see what all I do. But you just kind of get on there and just work and do it how you want. And don't ever scrub those clippers down into their skin, because you'll burn them with it. Now right there, you can stick your finger in the corner of their mouth, kind of curl their lip up and cut that hair out of their mouth too, where it wants to curl in there and get in there and wrap around their teeth. You don't want that hair to get in. If you see any wet hair, that means it needs to come off. That's around their mouth. That's a good way to know, because if it's wet, they're eating it and licking it. And it's laying on their teeth and keeping their teeth dirty. But see, she wasn't going to snap me there. She's just scared. Roxie don't bite me. She's just nervous. Now, I fluffed up her top notch, and I know I'm in the way, but I'm just kind of sculpting out a little doodle shape, a little poodle shape for her head. And so she'll look good, and she won't have too much hair on her head to make her too hot. I don't like her head to be flat, so I don't shave it flat anymore. I have done that in the past by accident, but now I don't. I just go in the inside of her ears and try to cut some of that hair off the inside of the flap. You can't tell it's been done on the outside. And then I think this is when I'm going to get my scissors and hand scissor her legs, because I don't like her legs to look all bony. I'm teaching myself how to do her legs where they're like more tubular and got a little hair on them. And what you do is you brush up in the air on that. If you see anything sticking out past the rest of the hair, just clip that off. And go up the back of it the same way. Kind of go around the leg. And just brush up in the air, shake the leg to see if anything's going to stick out when they're walking around, that shouldn't be. And then just clip that off. It's just a matter of clipping off what does not belong and keeping it round. So you see there, like on that right side, you can see a few little wispies hanging out there. And what I'll do is I'll brush that up and I'll clip it. And don't think you can do this in 20 minutes or something. It takes me about 3 hours to groom her. So I take a break in between for her and myself. I mean, this time when I got done, man, I was wore out. But I've been sitting here now working on videos. I hadn't put a video up in a couple of days, and I'm just sitting here now relaxing, getting off my feet. So I'm starting to get my second wind now. I can go out there with the leaf blower and blow all that hair off the porch. But she's starting to take shape on her head and face. I took off a little above her eyebrows and cut off some of her eyelashes with the clippers, because you don't want those eyelashes getting in their eyes and scratching their eyeballs and causing them to go blind. Some people like those long eyelashes, but Bougie had them and they were super long, like down past her eyes. And she kept wiping her eyes because they were sticking to her eyeballs, so I cut them off. But hers are straight, long eyelashes. Roxie's are curly like a poodle. So it's kind of easy to let hers grow out a little. You can see them on there a little bit, but they're not going to be long like that, because I don't want her to have eye problems, because I think she's cute with long eyelashes, I'm expecting the puppy's DNA tests to come in any day. I got an email last night that said that they were in analysis or something. So the test was done, they were in analysis or something like that. So they'll be coming anytime, and I'll be able to see what's up with their health testing. I'm so sorry I was in the way all this time. I just don't know how to do this unless I wear that GoPro camera, which it was dead when I started doing this. If I could probably help you guys see more about what I do to trim her. And I am by no means an expert, and I am by no means somebody you should learn from, but I am somebody that's taught myself how to cut her hair. And I used to have a cosmetology license. I know how to cut human hair with a poodle or a Goldendoodle cut. The main challenge is just to get everything to look, neat and even and all that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just going over it and brushing it. And the trick also is to blow dry them if you can, and make that straight hair stick up so you can really see. You can really get their hair smoother. But there I'm using thinning shears, and I've also got chunker shears. And they cut more hair than even the thinning shears do. But that's kind of what they do. They blend. And then I use those to blend so there's not such a sharp line on things. And I use the chunker shears on their legs. But there she is at the end. See, there's her top notch and face. That's about how I like her. Her body's close and short. There she goes out like Virginia Slim to go out and play. And there she is laying in her bed eating her snacky. I went and asked her if she wanted to go out, and then she went out, and then I got those two videos reversed, but that's what I did. But there she is. She got a little bit of hair on her legs. Her body's trimmed well, her tail's trimmed well, and her face is perfection. She's like a poodle this time, so I poodled my doodle, which is supposed to be a cardinal sin, I think, but I just decided to do that. Wanted to see what she looks like poodled. And there it is again with her laying still. I may round those edges off a little bit more. She would look more like a doodle if I did that. But I like to let it settle in for a couple of days before I go to trim it on it anymore. But would you please like, share, and subscribe to my videos if you like to watch them? It means everything to me, and it helps my algorithm to where more people can see my videos.